Welcome to the Hey Mama Homeschool Show, centered around family life and home education. How do you get homeschooling and housework done? How do you help children who are struggling? How do you teach a rebellious child? We have answers. You pour into your family daily, and we are here to help you. Brought to you by the Old Schoolhouse, your trusted partner for over 20 years.
Welcome to another episode of the Hey Mama Homeschool Show. I'm Steph Morrison. I'm here to talk a little bit about preparing your teen for life after homeschooling. You'll want to be sure to check out the show notes for this. I have lots of stuff in the episode, and we also have lots of stuff that we collect just on all our different sites of the Old Schoolhouse. So I want you to go check that out at homeschoolshow.com. You can just search this episode number 76 to find that. We have a most excellent show sponsor today, Alert Academy. The Alert Academy is a post-high school discipleship program for young men with the goal of forging extraordinary men who influence their world for Christ. Find out more at alertacademy.com. A perfect sponsor for this because that is just one of the many flexible options that our kids have for life after high school. We can just prepare them for all kinds of things, for post-secondary education, for training, for working, for career development, just so many things that I am going to get more into. But first, I want to just share with you a highlight of home education. What is so appealing about educating your own kids? Well, there is a lot. In fact, we have a resource for you, a sheet. You can download the PDF of 50 reasons to be thankful we homeschool. And there are so many more. I encourage you to check out that list that we have for you and then add your own. Make your own 50 reasons that we homeschool. So one of the reasons I have for you from that list is number 7. We have more time to linger in an area of interest because of the freedom to learn without time pressures. And that has really been more obvious to me, more wonderful to me. Actually, as my kids are getting older, I have a 13 and a 16-year-old. So we are pretty much in the high school years for both of them. My one son is definitely on that path right now of preparing for his life after high school. We have a site called Homeschool College Directory. So you can find that homeschoolcollegedirectory.com. And on that site, I'm actually going to be talking about a few of those different areas for you on this episode and share a little bit more about what that is in addition to other ways that you can prepare. But we have this set up for you. We also have schoolhouseteachers.com, which actually has a lot of college preparation and really just life after high school. Could be going into a career or just into a job, kind of what you want to do. Maybe have your kids just have different experiences of kind of what we call that the gap year of just experiencing something before they go on to a post-secondary, the higher education aspect, or even going into maybe they just start right in a job. Starting as young as really 13, 14 years old, even a little bit before that, depending on your child. So that first step is really just casual conversations. So that's just having those conversations. Maybe they start a conversation and you can encourage them in different ways to just get thinking about what they want to do when they get to adulthood and are just have that opportunity to be working and doing something that really satisfies them. And I love being able to encourage them with the interest. So I'm looking at what they're already interested in, saying, oh, here's a possibility. Sometimes we're looking at different jobs and what that would take, different careers, and what that would take to get into. Some things they could be trying right now, even for a business. I am a diehard entrepreneur myself. I've run quite a few little businesses, mostly from home, between myself and my husband. So we have lots of entrepreneurial spirit in our home. And of course, we share that with our kids. So I'm always encouraging them about these even a little side business, just ways that they can bring in money and provide value to other people. So that's one of the biggest things that I talk about, providing value to other people. So I want to show you, first of all, a little bit of what is happening at homeschoolcollegedirectory.com. So this is where we have three different main sections. So we have an articles section, and that is going to be your best one for this first stage. In this article sections, you're going to see a lot of different categories on there. So we've got like high school transcript, applying for college, college life, careers paths, financial, special needs and post-secondary emotions, early graduation, technical trade, vocational, college-bound homeschool, dual credit, and college at home. So we have articles in all those areas. You're going to find a lot of articles so a lot of links that go to our magazine, the old Schoolhouse magazine, articles that are directly in our digital magazine, and you'll also see links to articles that we have on our family of websites throughout the old Schoolhouse. So go and check that out for whatever area you may want to look at as the parent, and also bring your child here with you. Sit down together and look at some of the different articles here. I think even in this stage, at this 13 to 14 years old, that you could just look at career paths would be a great one to look at in this article section. I'm just going to share a few of the titles that I see here. How homeschooling has benefited my life, the non-starving artist, education for a real world, to college or not to college? That is the question. All dressed up with places to go. We've got interview with an artist, Kristen Federchuk, which I may have pronounced her name wrong. Many paths for high school graduates is another article we've got there. Careers in writing, that's a great article. We've just got a bunch of different opportunities that are available in the writing industry. Careers in music, how to start a blog, publishing a book online, and other options. So we've got a whole bunch there of different things that you can suggest to your child, that your child can look at and see if that is a type of career that they'd like to pursue. You can really find out things like, can't we? And when we have all this time as we're educating our kids, that all this time that they are with us, we can pick up on their interest just by what they're doing, as well as we have a lot of time to just talk. And even as the home education highlight I picked for today, we get to linger. So we get to linger in those areas where we see our kids have an interest and really let them explore. There are many unique pathways for education and experience. Our show sponsor today, International Alert Academy, just offers so many different options as well. Not only just basic training, get them in a great place for a military type of job, but they also have a great list of advanced training in aviation, construction, diving. Go and check out their website at alertacademy.com and just see all that's available there. I'm going to read right off their site here. I love how they word this. Alert's purpose is to forge extraordinary men who influence their world for Christ. They utilize a military-style structure, intentional discipleship, unique experiences, and professional skills training to create an environment that facilitates the forging process. Our goal is to create men who are spiritually sound, physically fit, and ready to serve. The second step is exploring career interests. And I think one of the greatest ways to do that is going and visiting websites. Definitely going and talking to people in different careers and actually getting some of that work experience as well. Whether it's just casually with somebody you know, or you really develop a very intentional program where they're getting a little bit of a co-op work experience through their high school years, just in areas that are of interest to them. Give them a real taste of what it's like to be working in that area. Right now, my older son seems especially attracted to some of the trades and doing construction work and framing. I've got a contact to have him set up with a auto shop and doing a bit of a work experience time there later on. So he's been doing some work otherwise, and of course, just different things that we can expose him to as parents just within our own homes. Explore those different career interests. And while that first step, at 13 and 14 years of age is having those casual conversations and different ways to bring that into just your daily life and daily talking, the second step is about exploring those career interests and understanding what it takes to really get into those careers. Some of them you would want to be establishing certain courses in place, especially more academics focused kind of courses. You definitely want at this age of 14 to 15, you want your child to be focused on doing some of those courses that are going to set them up for whatever it is they seem to be interested in at this point. So there's so many post-secondary options. Like as I mentioned before, a gap year experience, there's a number of different programs where they could go on a work exchange, where they could be visiting other countries, where they could be going on missions trips. So many options. They might go right into work, maybe entrepreneurship, education, and so many different options for education, whether it's in trades, whether it's university, getting in degrees and diplomas. There's just so many unique pathways that we can put our kids on for education and experience. So I'm going to direct you to the Homeschool College Directory, and this time looking more at the search listings. So it's one of the ways that you're going to find what different colleges offer, and maybe even expose yourself and definitely expose your child to different careers that are out there that you may have never even thought of. And if they kind of get a little bit of an interest in it, that's when you can really spend a bit more time to linger in those areas of interest. So linger in understanding what it takes to be able to do a certain career and understand what it takes within the career itself after the education part is done, and what that kind of education, or sometimes just experience, a mentor in that field or something like that, where you can get a better understanding of really what it takes and what it's like to work in that field. So the third step is just before they're done that high school education. So around 16 or 17 years of age, they probably have a little bit of an idea of what's of interest to them, or you as the parent is a little bit more knowledgeable about what they're interested in, because they've got to explore so many different kinds of subjects, so many different electives at this point in their life. And this is what I call the real planning stage. So it's not like, we have to have it all figured out, that our kids have to have it all figured out by the age of being 16 or 17 or even 18 to know what they want to do, especially if to go into a higher education institution. You don't want to really pay for a whole bunch of training in education in an area where your child's not really that interested in, and hopefully they won't either. Hopefully they're going to be a little bit responsible for paying for their education, and it just gives them a little bit more ownership in that area. But this stage is really about planning, and this is where you can use the college resources section within the Homeschool College Directory. And in this section, you're going to find different things like coaching, consulting for higher education and careers. So a few of the listings in here, there's not a whole bunch of listings like we have for the actual schools, for the colleges and universities and trades and that. But there is all kinds of help to get your children, to help your kids be able to understand where their interests lie and where their skills and talents and just what would be a really good fit for a kind of work for them. Because when we're honoring God with our work, it is, I truly believe that God has given us all work that is really rewarding. And for that rewarding work that we're doing and providing value for other people, we get money for that. We get paid for that, right? We get our income. And it is so important for us to prepare our kids for work that is rewarding and satisfying and a good fit for them. Not that it always gets figured out right away, but that's what you really want to focus on, not just getting the right job because a parent did it, or not just a right job because that's the kind of field that seems like it's just a good paying job. Really, anything that is rewarding, anything that is satisfying is where we want to see our kids in. We want to see them thrive, and we want to see them be successful, and most importantly, just enjoy the work that they're doing. So we also have a really great section on schoolhouseteachers.com. So if you go there and go to the main menu, planning tools, and you'll see a selection preparing for college. It's actually going to open up another sub-menu, and you can see a few different things there, but what I really want to focus on is these college prep worksheets. These are free. You don't have to be a schoolhouseteachers.com member, although I will say there are tons of electives in Schoolhouse Teachers. So not only is it a full curriculum site right up to the end of high school, with those main subjects, math and language arts, English, all kinds of literature study, science, history, geography, but it also has a lot of different electives. There's a great psychology course on there that's kind of new. I think it's kind of new last year, but there's all kinds of courses on different music and exploring that and getting deeper in that. Same with art. Computers and learning more in that area. That seems to be a bit of a pathway if your kids seem really interested in computers and programming, or maybe designing. Maybe they can get into graphic design, even video editing, all kinds of different options just using a computer. So in these free printable high school and college prep worksheets, you're going to find just templates that are ready for you. You're going to find options for keeping a high school transcript. You're going to see a lot of record keeping types of templates for you to use and prepare. One that is a checklist for college, a study plan, high school hours tracking, high school courses of study. These are all real great things on a transcript, and that is going to be your best thing, seeing a transcript. I am in Canada here, and I know it's a little bit different in the States, but I think we're similar in that way that high schools that are government run give out a diploma. And for some of us in high schools or parents thinking about their kids and home educating them, they really get stuck on, oh, well, my child get a diploma. There is ways to get a diploma from an accredited institution if you want to go that route. But it is also much more important that you have a really good, thorough transcript. So whether somebody's going to public school or not, it seems that post-secondary institutions, so colleges and universities, they're a lot more concerned about what classes were taken and the kind of marks they got in that class, rather than so much, did you actually get this diploma that you finished high school? So just to keep that in mind, just keep really focused on the transcript, really focused on good records. So creating a bit of a portfolio that is definitely going to help with the admissions process into a post-secondary school. One last thing I'd like to mention is just this increasing trend of homeschooling through high school. And I'm actually not sure if it's the same in the US. I'm just tapped into this a little bit more on the Canadian side. And there is just at homeschool conferences, even bigger homeschool groups, just looking for that topic for their members. It is just a really hot topic, and has been for the past year or even a couple of years. There seems to be two main reasons for that. One being that more homeschoolers are actually educating their kids through high school. So it has been a fairly common thing that parents will educate their kids up until that 7 or 8, and then they send them to high school for different reasons. So I think there's just more homeschoolers that are deciding they can, and it is so doable, and they're feeling confident on being the ones to guide their children's education through the high school years too. And then also, there is a bit of a state that our high schools are in, and especially if you're Christian, it is very hard to send your kids to these public schools. And high school seems to be a little bit more even skewed against God, at least that impression that it's leaving on students there, than it is in the elementary years. So it is just a really popular time, I think, for parents to decide, I can educate our kids through high school. Colleges and universities are really vying for homeschooled students because they're really good students, really good for their numbers overall of graduates. And that's what they want to see. And of course, a university or a college, I mean, that's their purpose. It's to educate and help people get the training in whatever area they're in. So when they have homeschool students that are already pretty individual learners, they are generally more sure of what they're doing because of that preparation that we've had as parents. We were able to just prepare them more because we're just around them more, and we can see these interests and we can see what they're gravitating towards. We can expose them to more things. We can linger in those areas of interest and be able to have our kids really thrive and excel in different areas more so than we could if we sent our kids away and didn't see them all throughout the day for the majority of the days of a week. So that wraps up my tips for you today on preparing for that life after homeschooling. You can listen to a new Hey Mama Homeschool Show episode every Monday. Our next few episodes coming up, episode 77 is Unit Study Homeschooling. How does that work? Episode 78, Organizing Chaos, Help with the Clutter. And episode 79, Finding Mentors and Creating Support Groups. That is just a few of the great topics that we have for you on the Hey Mama Homeschool Show. Go and check out all the show notes for this episode and all our episodes at homeschoolshow.com. Don't forget to write that list yourself of the 50 reasons to be thankful that you homeschool. Thanks for listening. I'm just going to close us off with a bit of prayer. God, we thank you for the way that you guide us as parents. We thank you for the way that you're guiding our children and that you're giving all families just that encouragement and inspiration to just for us to be able to do the things that we're meant to do. God, you created each of us unique, and help us to just honor that uniqueness in each other, in our families, and that we just cherish this time. As I was talking about high school, it was really the time when we're just launching our kids off into adult life, and it is a good few years preparation. So I thank you, God, that we are just cherishing this time with our kids as they're in their teenage years, and that we are that solid guiding force for them to really do the great work for you, God. Amen.
Our state organization sponsor for this episode is Home Educators Association of Virginia. HEAV promotes and protects home education in Virginia. If you live in Virginia or surrounding areas and are looking for amazing homeschool support, visit heav.org.